Okay, that seems bad. Abort! Abort! Why are there so many switches and none of them say "do not die"? Micrometeoroid Strike. You are drifting past a wall panel when something cracks like a gunshot. A micrometeoroid strike is a tiny natural particle or piece of orbital debris hitting a spacecraft at extreme speed. Shielding shatters it before it can open the hull, but the inside of that wall still breaks apart. Keeping crew quarters behind the thickest shielding puts metal between you and the fragments. The hull holds. You do not. Metal splinters burst inward across the cabin. One enters your side, below the ribs. For a moment, you feel almost nothing. Then the pain arrives, all at once. We survived launch and lost to a cosmic breadcrumb. Your blood does not pour. It leaves you in slow red spheres that drift across the cabin. You press your hand over the wound. The bleeding is deeper than your hand can reach. Your heart races, trying to move blood you no longer have. Your fingers go cold. Someone shouts your name from an arm's length away, and it still sounds far off. Internal bleeding empties your circulation until your heart has nothing left to pump. You stay awake for most of it, watching your own blood float past your face. Suffering rating, 8 out of 10. Spaceship Fire. You smell burning plastic, then smoke curls out of a wall panel. A spaceship fire is an uncontrolled fire inside a sealed cabin, usually starting in damaged wiring, batteries, or electrical equipment. Cutting power, hitting it with an extinguisher, and sealing the module saves everyone on the right side of the hatch. The hatch is behind the smoke. In microgravity, smoke does not rise away from you. The ventilation system carries it into modules the flames have not even reached. Your eyes flood. Your throat burns. Carbon monoxide locks onto the hemoglobin that is supposed to carry oxygen. Your lungs keep working perfectly. Your blood stops delivering. The smoke has better navigation than we do. Heat swells your airway from the inside. The module turns into a black maze. The hatch handle is too hot to hold. Every breath comes back smaller than the last. Your knees fold before the flames reach you. Burned airways and poisoned blood starve your organs of oxygen. Blind, burning, and trapped inside the box built to keep you alive. Suffering rating, 9.5 out of 10. Radiation storm. Solar particle event detected. Nothing hits the ship. Nothing shakes. A radiation storm, also called a solar particle event, is a burst of high-energy particles from the sun that passes through weak shielding and damages cells everywhere in your body. Reaching the shielded shelter during those warning minutes is the difference between a survivable dose and this. You do not make it in time. Wonderful, invisible weather. At first, you feel fine. A metallic taste spreads across your tongue. Flashes appear behind your closed eyes as particles cross the tissue around your vision. They cross everything else, too, tearing apart the DNA in your fastest dividing cells. Hours later, the vomiting starts. Your strength drains away. Your skin feels burned from underneath. Then the sickness eases. You keep food down. You think you survived. You did not. Days later, your immune defenses collapse. Cuts stop healing and your blood stops clotting. The lining of your intestines breaks down while diarrhea and internal bleeding drain you. Infection, hemorrhage, and organ failure finish it over days or weeks. The dose is painless and the dying takes weeks. Suffering rating, 9 out of 10. Be honest, if the vomiting stopped, would you think you survived? Exactly. Space is rude like that. Running out of oxygen. The lights are on, the walls are intact, you are breathing normally. That is the trap. Running out of oxygen, also called hypoxia, happens when life support stops supplying enough oxygen, even though the cabin stays pressurized. Backup oxygen, or restored life support, saves you. If someone notices, while the crew can still think, nobody notices. At first you blame exhaustion. Your heart speeds up. A headache settles behind your eyes. Then your brain starts dropping pieces of the emergency. You read the same warning twice. The words make sense, the sentence does not. You trained for this. The control panel looks unfamiliar anyway. Your fingers tingle and your legs get heavy. Then the fear starts fading. You become confused, euphoric, strangely certain that everything is fine. I do not trust happiness during emergencies. Your eyelids sink. You close them for 1 second. You never open them again. Starved of oxygen, the part of your brain that drives breathing quits. and your heart follows it minutes later. Your dying brain deletes the terror before it deletes you. Suffering rating, 6 out of 10. Re-entry failure. Earth fills the window, blue ocean, white clouds, home. Then a temperature warning appears. Re-entry failure happens when the heat shield, guidance, or structure fails, while the spacecraft falls back through the atmosphere at nearly 28,000 kilometers an hour. At that speed, the air ahead of you turns into plasma, and the shield is all that keeps it outside your body. Inspecting the shield for damage while you are still in orbit buys you the option of waiting up there for another ride home. Nobody saw the damage. G-forces crush you into the seat. Heat creeps up to the floor. You smell burning. Inside, the ship begins to roll, and your body slams against the restraints. Blood is dragged away from your brain. Your vision grays at the edges. An orange line opens along the wall. Your next breath scorches your throat. You look out again. Earth is right there. We are literally right there. You reach for the controls. Nothing responds. The cabin comes apart, and heat, tumbling, and impact forces destroy your body in seconds. Home stays in the window for all of it. Suffering rating, 8.5 out of 10. Tiny interruption. Spacecraft are built against every one of these. We are following the version where the damage is severe, the backups fail, or help is too far away. I have trust issues. Cabin depressurization. A seal fails. The cabin empties in under a second. Cabin depressurization, also called explosive decompression, happens when a breach dumps a spacecraft's air into the vacuum outside and nothing rushes in to replace it. Your body becomes the only pressurized thing left in the room. A sealed suit or an emergency pressure bag holds you at survivable pressure, and you have about 10 useful seconds to reach one. The air leaves your lungs whether you agree with it or not. Your eardrums give way. Then the water inside you begins boiling at body temperature. Saliva fizzes across your tongue. Your eyes and your mouth turn strangely cold as the moisture boils off them. My own spit is evacuating before I am. Then it happens under your skin. Vapor forms in your tissue, and your body swells against itself, your arms and neck and face bloating out of shape. You do not explode. Your skin holds you together. Unfortunately, that is the good news. Bubbles rise through your blood until your heart is moving froth. Vapor expanding through your veins collapses your circulation and stops your heart. You stay awake long enough to feel your own body swell and boil. Suffering rating, 8 out of 10. Carbon dioxide poisoning. You take a deep breath. It does not feel complete. Another. Still wrong. Carbon dioxide poisoning, also called hypercapnia, happens when failed scrubbers let the gas you exhale build up inside a sealed cabin. A backup scrubber, or an emergency breathing supply, reverses it while someone on board can still think clearly enough to use it. By the time anyone reaches the panel, nobody on board is thinking clearly. You are breathing. It changes nothing. Carbon dioxide builds up in your blood and turns it acidic. Your brain forces you to breathe faster, deeper, again. Nothing satisfies it. Your chest burns and your face flushes. A headache pounds behind your eyes. Breathing harder is somehow making this worse. Every instinct screams for a bigger breath. Every breath returns the same ruined air. Your thoughts blur. Panic turns into drowsiness. Your brain is being chemically sedated while your body is still begging for air. The acid in your blood shuts down your brain and your heart while you are unconscious. The air hunger runs for hours before it lets you go. Suffering rating, 8.5 out of 10. Quick choice: lose the air completely or keep breathing air that never feels like enough. I hate both answers. Stranded in deep space. No alarms, no smoke. The lights still glow. Mission Control says the engines are dead. Being stranded happens when a spacecraft loses propulsion too far from help to get home before its supplies run out. A free return trajectory, the kind that swings you around and carries you home without engines, is what saved Apollo 13. You are not on one. Nothing in the cabin is killing you. The distance is. You restart the engines. Nothing. Nobody is close enough to answer the signal in time. For a while, life continues. Then survival becomes arithmetic. Water, food, power, every number is a countdown. Eventually, the recycling system cannot keep up. Your mouth stays dry and your urine darkens. then nearly stops. Your blood volume falls. Standing makes the room tilt. Your body burns fat, then muscle. Earth becomes a blue point on a screen. Beautiful, unreachable. The conversations get shorter, then stop. I don't have a joke for this one. Near the end, you drift between sleep and confusion, and you hear voices that are not coming through the radio. Falling blood volume drops you into shock, while your blood chemistry pushes your heart into a rhythm it cannot survive. Time gives you far too long to understand that nobody is coming. Suffering rating, 9 out of 10. Well, setting course for Earth. And next time, we're taking the bus. I'm your trusty, grumpy sticky note. Stay curious, but stay alive. Anyway, leave me a note.